What's up, everybody? This is the Small Cap Recap. Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about some stocks. So today's June 7th. Want to go over some stocks from yesterday. First one being AXON. Absolutely insane rip. This was basically a biotech, guys, that is not as low float as we've seen lately. Definitely a cheaper stock, but roughly 32 share float, million share float, and roughly 15% institutional ownership. Headline came out that their Parkinson's drug showed some positive signs, and the stock absolutely ripped. So this on the daily chart was just a really nice revival pattern. This is a stock that a pattern we like to look for. That's when a stock is really oversold and starts to form some type of bottoming out consolidation. That's basically what you saw here. And you had a nice breakout from about $1 to $2. Everyone was expecting conference today at 9 a.m., but they released news early, and the stock absolutely exploded from about $2 to the threes pre-market. So it was up huge. And how are we, gauging this? So I was telling people in chat, um, number one, it's easy to borrow. Immediate red flag for me. In this type of market, when you have easy to borrow stocks, I saw someone say this on Twitter the other day. ETB stands for expect the bears. So that means that any newbie, any grandma, anybody that you know can participate in this short, which means there's less edge. I don't like that. So I'm usually not shorting easy to borrow day one movers. That's just my style, and it's worked for me in the past. Um, so what I was telling people is sometimes you want to think counterintuitively. You got a lot of shorts that are saying this thing is up huge. Um, I'm just gonna. It's definitely gonna fade. I'll just take a stab at it. So unfortunately, you can't see it now because it's the day after. This had 325 support. You can check my Twitter. I was posting some charts there, and I was telling people, if you want to long it, that's probably a good zone for your stop. And it's no coincidence that that's exactly where it held. This is a perfect F1 breakout, which is a momentum breakout that we like to use. Held that 370 and VWAP, which is where you could tell that there was some type of bull and bear fight, and then you get the squeeze. Um, Nice trend break here. Unfortunately, I don't like to use the trend breaks too much on a lower time frame, like a 1 minute, because it just leads to scalping opportunities. But what you got was a trend break. Really nice 10% drop or so, 12%. Then it pushed back up to 460, double top. And I think everyone thought that that was your double top for the fade. This was your downward trend. So with all these lines. And then once we broke that, that was your flag. So I was saying this on Twitter to everyone. Everyone's, Mike, where do you think this is going to go? I know that I don't know. But what I do know is that it does not look weak, and that this is a possible inverted head and shoulders pattern. You have the left shoulder here, the head, and the right shoulder. That's a possible trend reversal bull pattern. So it was a really nice breakout and ended up ripping all the way, almost 6 after hours. On top of that, when it's easy to borrow, guys, you have a catalyst today. The following day from the momentum breakout, that bulls are going to hold into that announcement. So there's a good theory in the market. Buy the rumor, sell the news. You wait for that sell the news announcement and see what they say. So this is the type of market that we're in. Obviously, just to give you a little bit of fundamental analysis, company loses like 250 million a year. Fundamentally garbage. But lately, price action over fundamentals 100%. So it was a great trade. We are commentating both sides, long and short, and being very transparent. So hope you guys were able to trade this well. Other one I wanted to talk about was CLRB. And this is, again, another example of sometimes if you don't know the fundamental story, then you don't know the big picture. This had insane resistance at 150, and they got some type of approval or FDA grant, excuse me, and those are usually you see the stocks pop and drop. So this thing went up 50% plus pre-market, and I wanted to look at the filings first before I started to dabble. And there was insane dilution between 150 and 2. It was disgusting. So I was like, all right, this thing, I'm going to be a little patient, wait for this thing to get up there because maybe they'll slam it. And then pre-market, you see these fat bids start coming in, 50,000, 100,000 shares, and I was thinking, oh shit, they're probably dumping up here because there was some dilution in the 150s. So sometimes the move gives back, and one of my rules is not trading pre-market because it helps me maintain discipline, keeps my FOMO in check. maintains my mental capital going into the open. And personally, I like to gauge pre-market support and resistance going into the open. I think that's a better edge. Pre-market's a coin flip sometimes. So this 135 level was key. I was hoping we were going to push up there, risk 5 or 10 cents to and fade it back down to $1. So it was going to be a 3.5 to 1 risk reward. But it spiked to 125, and I didn't really want to touch it because getting in, risking 10 cents to make 20, it's not my ideal trade lately. I want to be more selective. But this did end up fading. And it's just, again, an example of, you look at this daily trend, you're probably thinking with the recurring theme lately, a push over 150, maybe it squeezes to 2. Do a little digging before. And that's just going to lead to your conviction, guys. When I first started, I only longed. And did I make money longing trash? Yes. But did it work in the long run consistently? No. So that was CLRB, and the other one I want to discuss is SNES. Former runner, again, trash stock fundamentally. But what I like to do and why I'm going to go over this is I love to look at former runners and look at historically how they acted in terms of price action and try and use that, in the current time. So back in November, sick run from 150 to 350. Then drop back down. I like to use the 13 EMA on the daily as a short-term moving average and consolidated, right? So really nice consolidation and then a stuff move. All the sheep that, were getting greedy. The stock's already up 100%. It could definitely go up to 200. You get that stuff move. And then they offered, I'm pretty sure. So it went from $4 to 150 within about a week. Insane. So once these bids are gone on these piggies, guys, who wants to buy them, right? So that move is what I was looking for. I'm like, they're going to stuff this thing hard at probably 245 level. That was the breakdown zone back in November. So I was also looking to long it just to be not biased. I was telling people in chat, this is probably going to get a mag to 2. I wanted to long it off of this 160 support. This was the open. We were sitting at 180. I'm like, give me a little dip down here to the 175. Risk 10 cents to make, 40. 4 to 1 risk reward. And again, pre-market, everyone's looking at the same pattern. So it just was at $2 right into the open. It was up 20%. I'm like, I'm not touching this. That was my move. So I told everyone, be careful longing this up here because this is that resistance. And you got that exact stuff move to the T. Right here was the stuff move. Boom. And then it faded. So this was a 6 short. And again, a picture perfect example, guys, of gauging the personality of a stock from historic trends and using that. It definitely works sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't, but it's a good gauge in terms of how sometimes they're moving these things, if there's any agenda behind it. And again, if you go through fundamentals on SNES, absolute garbage. So really hot movers. I want to touch on the market. I discussed in the prior video lesson that the biggest problem that we saw was the Dow and the XLF were not contributing financials. And I got shut up quick yesterday because the Dow just exploded almost 400 points. What has been leading? The Russell is insane. This protectionist policy, bringing money back to small caps. SPY, sick. And then XLF, absolutely beautiful. Financials are starting to run. So what this means, guys, is that the market's hot. It's only going to create more opportunities. So take advantage of this market. Again, we trade live every morning, foosfortrading.com. Hope everybody enjoys the free content, and I'll catch everybody soon.